Hello everybody, it's Hannah and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, I just got out of the shower, so my hair is still wet. But I have a ton of new makeup that I picked up from Ulta and one thing from Sephora that I really wanted to show you, do a little haul and kind of go over testing a bunch of new products. Some of them are new and then some of them are just new to me. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I guess I will go ahead and show you everything that I picked up. The first thing that I got is actually a new NYX Glitter Primer. If you watched my last video, you saw that I got rid of it in my declutter video because mine, the tip of it broke off, so I couldn't screw the cap onto it anymore, and it kind of dried out and got super gross. So I picked up a new one of those because it's a staple product for me. And then one thing from Sephora that I got, I don't have it in the box anymore because I've actually been using it, is the brand new Patrick Ta Clear Brow Lamination Gel. I am obsessed with this. I've been trying it out the last couple of days. I actually got it right before I went on a little vacation with my friends, so I brought this with me. And it is so unique. It looks like a mascara, but the bristles on it are so cool, and it really, really sticks down your brows. This is the most long wearing sort of brow gel that I've ever used, and it is amazing. As you know, I've been using the Kosas Air Brow Gel, but this one is 1,000 times better than that, and I even loved the Kosas one, so that's how you know. Then I also picked up a couple of products from e.l.f. The first thing that I got is actually the Enhancing Lash and Brow Serum. Right now I'm using the Babe Lash Serum that I got in an Ipsy, I think Ipsy Plus or Ipsy Glam Bag X maybe a few months ago, but it's running low, and that one is $100 and something, so I did not want to repurchase that. And then even Grande Lash is super expensive just to buy the actual serum, so I saw that e.l.f. had their own lash serum and it has a really good review, so I figured that I would try it out and start using it up, and then I guess I'll let you know how it is. But I find that lash serums are really good for my eyelashes personally. It helps them get long and it helps them grow in nice and thick, so I just love using a lash serum and I wanted to try out a new one. Then another thing that I got from e.l.f. is the Jelly Pop Dew Primer. So I used to have this a long time ago when they first came out with it, and I decluttered it because I had a ton of primers I was working through and it just wasn't one that I was reaching for. Now I am down to only one primer that I can use daily, which is my Steel One Step Correct. There's a little spoiler for my Project Pan update, which isn't that good, so at least I have progress on this one. But I wanted to pick up another one because I recently used up the Milk Hydro Grip in the last couple of months, and this is supposed to be a dupe for it. So I don't even remember what the formula of it felt like. Let me do a quick little test before I put this on my face. It's just clear. I have little swatches on my hand, and oh wow, yeah, it does feel very similar to the milk. Let's see, I spread it out and I'll let it dry for a second, and it is definitely getting tacky. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, yeah. You can see it definitely has that sticky finish. I don't think it's as sticky as the milk one, but it's definitely very similar. And it smells really nice as well. Then the next two things that I got from e.l.f. were the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. So this is a new product from e.l.f. and I got mine in the shade Honey Drip. I didn't get the lightest one, I got the next shade up that was more neutral and not as warm. And the shade I think should be fine, it should blend out to be okay. And I got the Putty Blush brush to go with it because this seemed to be the same shade as the Putty Blush, and I knew that it was going to be a little bit small, and I looked just out of curiosity at the Putty Blush brush, and people said that it was good because the size of these is quite small, so it was hard to get a brush into it. So I just picked up that. It's kind of like a sort of tapered stippling type brush, so I'm interested to try those out together. Then I have another brow product. This is the Essence Eyebrow Pen. So it just looks like this, and it is very similar to the Lottie London Arch Rival Brow Pen, I think it's called, and the Benefit Microfilling Brow Pen. So I actually used up a whole Benefit pen. I purchased a new one and then I lost the new one, so I was using my Lottie London one, and then that one dried up, so I had to throw it away. I think it's in my empties right now, but I loved having something like this because it was so long wearing, and I'm using up my pencils and my brow gels, which I still use a brow gel with this anyway, but it's not a pencil isn't my preferred method for doing my brows, so I wanted to pick up another one of these pens, and this actually looks really good. Oh yeah, so it made very nice, kind of very fine streaks. I'll have to see if the color's any good. I got the shade medium brown, so we'll see how that is. And then I have two more things in here. I have let's see, yeah, just two more things. I also picked up the Grande Cosmetics Grande Mascara in waterproof. They recently came out with this waterproof version, and I've always wanted to try the Grande Mascara, but I knew that I wouldn't like it because it wasn't waterproof, so it wouldn't really hold my lashes. But they came out with a waterproof version, and I was interested in this because I used to have the Grande serum, or Grande Lash serum, and it worked really well. But it's interesting to have skincare, or not skincare, but kind of like those peptides and hydrating, conditioning properties within your own mascara, so I wanted to try that one out. And then lastly, I picked up the Colourpop Limoncello palette. This isn't new anymore, but it was actually on sale. I think I got it for like $9.40 or something on Ulta. It was on like a random sale, and I have always kind of wanted this palette, but I was like, I don't really need it. It looks super warm. But I actually took this out of the box and opened it up when it came, and it's not as warm as I thought. Like in person, you know, these browns are not as kind of orangey as I thought that they were going to be. Even the shade over here, Tuscan Fun. And then I love the shimmers in here. Like these are all so pretty. I'm definitely going to create a look using this today, and I'm so glad to have it as part of my sort of Colourpop and eyeshadow collection. All right, so that's everything for the haul. So I think now we will go ahead and kind of get into it. I will just skip through the steps of when I'm not using new products, like when I'm going to do like my concealer and my powder and stuff like that. I'm just going to go through the products that I have. So I guess we will first start off with the primer. So again, this is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer. So I'm just going to take like one pump of it. It's pretty liquidy, and I'm going to rub this in. All right, so that is feeling good. It's definitely not as sticky as the Milk Makeup one, just off of like first impressions feeling it on my face. It definitely is tacky, as you could see, but it's not as super sticky. But I really like it. It feels good. It's also almost a little bit hydrating, which I like a lot because I have kind of more dry to normal skin, so I always enjoy something hydrating. So I'm going to go ahead and just go and do my like foundation. I think I'm just going to put on a little bit of concealer and powder, and then I'll be right back. Actually, I just realized I'm not going to do powder because I do have the Putty Bronzer, so I'm just going to put on like some complexion products, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so I just did a light layer of concealer kind of all over my face, mostly just focusing on my under eyes and kind of the center section, like on my nose, couple breakouts that I had. But it's pretty hot out today, so I didn't want to have like a full like thick foundation on, so I just used my Kokie Be Bright Illuminating Concealer, which I absolutely love. It is so nice on my skin, and it's just like the perfect shade. But we will now go into the Putty Bronzer. Again, I got mine in the shade Honey Drip, which hopefully, fingers crossed, should be okay. It is a very small container, which I guess is fine because I don't really need like a ton of cream bronzer, but it's just something to note. Then taking a better look at the brush, you could see it's super tapered like this, and it's kind of flat and has sort of these stippling pieces at the top, but I'm not sure how creamy this will be, but we shall see. Okay, so you kind of have to go in because it doesn't pick up too much. All right, so I have a little bit on the brush. Let me go in on my forehead first, just to be safe. Oh, yeah, it's not very, like, it's not super pigmented at all. You could definitely, like, feel comfortable kind of digging in because it is a very lightweight formula. Let me just give it a little swatch, actually. Yeah, there it is. The shade is actually very pretty, and you can see it blends out very nicely, which I am already seeing just putting this on my forehead. And the brush does kind of fit perfectly in it, so I would recommend getting the brush even just to kind of take it and apply, even if you ended up blending out with a little bit of a bigger brush just for bronzer. Oh, I really like the color. This is like the perfect color for me. It's not too orangey, it's not too gray, it's just super nice. So I think all we have left is just the brows and my eye makeup. So I'm going to finish up my face and I'll be right back again. Right, so I just finished up my face makeup. I just threw on a little bit of the Hourglass loose powder with some of my Too Faced Sun Puppy bronzer, which is just so cute. I love that bronzer. And then I used some of the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Over Dramatic, which is in my project pan. And then I also used a little bit of this Tower 28 gloss just on my lips. For highlight, I used the Pixi Glowy Gossamer Duo in the shade Delicate Dew. You can see I just mixed the two of them together. And then I also just sprayed my face with a little bit of setting spray from the Milk Hydro Grip. So what I would normally do is I just go like under and then up. And that's what I always do with brow pen products like this, and then I'll take my finger just to kind of blend it out. So the shade seems pretty good. It's not pulling too warm, or even sometimes brow pens, I find when they're more cool tone, they can almost pull a little bit green. Like you'll kind of see that on reviews of a lot of brow pens. It's definitely not the perfect shade. It's slightly red, but it's not, definitely not too bad at all. They did have a darker shade, but I went with medium brown just because I didn't want my brows to look too dark, and I can always use a brow gel if it wasn't dark enough. But I actually think that that looks pretty good. So let me go ahead and do this other brow. Okay, so for some reason it's not coming out anymore. Okay, so I kind of had to get it going again. But the tip of it isn't really making much product, which is kind of weird because I don't even have like any product in here already. So I don't know what that's about. Yeah, it's like almost drying up. Oh boy. I do not know about this product. It was starting off good, like the brow looks good, but this one I literally like can't even fill. Yeah, this is literally like dried up. I don't know what's happening. All right, let me press kind of hard. Okay, so pressing harder, I was able to get more product out, but it's definitely not really even to the other side. So I might need to go in with a pencil and just try to fix it a little bit. So just going in with my MAC Spiked Eyebrow Styler in the shade, I guess the shade is Spiked. It's the Eyebrow Styler from MAC. This is like such a good shade for me. I'm just gonna fill in by the top, like the front a little bit. Okay, so that did definitely help a little bit. Now they seem to be a bit more even, especially in the front section. But I definitely would not recommend that. I think it was only like $1.99, so I guess the price was just too good to be true. Don't know what happened. But moving on to one product that I already know that I love is the Patrick Ta Brow Lamination Gel. It is so good. It like really sticks your brows up if you want it. I do trim my eyebrows, so my like hairs themselves aren't too long, so you can't really see that well. But I love it. Like, it is so amazing. So next up, we are going to move on to the eyes. So again, I have the Colourpop Limoncello palette. So I think what I'm going to do first is go into the shade right over here called Tuscan Fun. And I'm just going to put that all over my eyes, just as kind of like my transition shade. That is such a pretty color. It's kind of like a yellow toned brown. And then I think also just to add a little bit of like a more pop of yellow, I'm going to take the shade Amalfi, which is the yellow in the palette, and I'm going to kind of use that to like blend out my edges and just to kind of give the blend a little bit of a more kind of yellow touch to it. Then I'm going to go in with this shade over here called Semi-Fredo, and I'm going to use that to almost deepen up the look just a little bit. It didn't add too much depth, but it definitely added something. I really like that. I'm also going to take whatever is left on my brush and just go in on my under eye just to do a little bit more definition. And I really like that. I would even just leave that right here, but I definitely want to go in with some of the shimmers. So let me go and just swatch these out. All right, so I have the shades all swatched out over here. So this one right here is Fly Girl, then Easy Peasy, which is so pretty. It has like a shift to it. It's almost like a duochrome, kind of has that green reflect. Then this one is Touring. This is Serenade, and then this green one down here is Capri. So these are all super pretty. I kind of want to go in with Easy Peasy and Touring, I think are going to be the shades that I'm going to go ahead and use. So I'm going to first take Easy Peasy and just take that on my finger, and like, that is so pretty. And this also has a gigantic mirror, which I really like. So I'm going to put that kind of in the middle and blend it in slightly, but I'm not going to bring it in all the way because I'm going to be putting the lighter shade there anyway. And this is so pretty. It just blends out really nice. And then with a different finger, I'm just going to take Touring, which is like so bright. This looks very, very pigmented. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, I'm gonna rub a little bit off my finger and go in with less. That is so nice. I'm not going to use the NYX Glitter Primer just because I don't need it for today, but look at that. These shadows blend together so nicely. I think that that looks amazing. And then again, same thing on the other side. And then I'm not going to use it today, but the blue in this palette, this is the shade La Festa. That is actually really, really nice. It blends out super well, like for it being a blue. Like normally colors don't have a nice blend like that, but that one does. So I guess you just have to see how it looks on the eyes. Maybe in another video coming up, I'll do another look testing this out. But this is definitely a win in my book. This is so pretty, and I love the look that I came out with. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do liner yet. We'll see how my lashes come out. If the mascara is not good, we will do liner to cover it up. But I do want to try this one out. So I'm going to curl my lashes using the Shiseido eyelash curler, and then I'll be back to do mascara. Alright, so lashes are curled. I also just threw on a little bit of the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip in the shade Buttered Rum. But we will go ahead and get into the mascara. So I actually like the wand is pretty short, and the actual brush seems to be pretty nice. So let's fingers crossed that this holds a curl and that it looks good. I'm always so nervous trying new mascaras because I feel like they're never gonna look good. So right off the bat, it's not giving me much. It is looking like a very natural mascara. Like it's not really giving me all that much volume and not even all that much length. It's not gripping like onto my lashes too well. So I don't know, let me see if I can work this up. And I'm going to try and apply this. I'm going to do a couple of coats and then I'll let you know how it's looking, and I will come back when that is all done. So this is after quite a few coats of the mascara. It did end up building up to be pretty nice. I just don't know how the lasting power is going to be. Like I already feel like the curl is kind of falling. It hasn't dried completely yet, but I'm going to try and just like keep pushing it up while it dries, which I find that if my mascara is kind of dried out or it's not really holding as well, if I just kind of push it up while it's drying on my actual eyes, that the curl ends up looking a little bit better. It still definitely does look good, and the more that I look at it, especially on camera, I feel like it looks pretty comparable to the other ones that I have. But that being said, I do think I still am feeling that I want to do a little bit of eyeliner today. So let's see, I have a bunch of these Colourpop ones and my one brown Charlotte Tilbury. I kind of wanted to do a color, but I don't know, I may just end up sticking with brown. I think for today I am just going to stick with brown. My brown liquid liner is somewhere in one of my bags. Let's see, I do have my bag right here. Okay, I found my brown Colourpop liquid liner. I think I'm going to go with that today because that one's a little bit darker. This one I don't love when I'm doing like sort of heavier makeup. This one I like to do if I'm wearing like no eyeshadow. The Charlotte Tilbury one I like to do if I'm wearing no eyeshadow. And the Colourpop one I like to do if I'm wearing kind of, not heavy because it's a very light eyeshadow, but like a more colorful type look. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to start with my wing and bring that in. I went ahead and did both sides. I do think that I would like to do a little bit of some more bronzer. I feel like my face is kind of calling out for it. There we go. Now I'm feeling good, feeling all revved up. Yeah, so basic consensus of everything. I love the eyeshadow palette. I really like the primer. The mascara is okay. The Putty Bronzer I did enjoy. And I don't remember, what else did I get? The brow gel, of course I love. I already told you guys that. I've been already trying that one out a ton. The lash serum, I will have to let you know. And then the NYX Glitter Primer, I already know that I absolutely love it. So this is everything. I think I'm going to go ahead and blow dry my hair and come back. That way you could see what it's actually going to look like. All right, and then this is my hair all blown out, and I just ran my little Laneige thing just through the top because it was a little bit frizzy, which my hair always gets frizzy after I blow dry it. But this is how it looks. I feel like my hair always looks so different from when it's like wet to when it's blow dried. And I just used my purple shampoo, so it's like super silvery. It was like kind of like a more yellowy blonde, but this feels much more me with the more cool tone sort of silvery hair, after I use my purple shampoo. But yeah, I think that it looks so pretty, and I'm actually really happy with the look. I think that it came out super nice. I was worried it was going to be a little bit too dramatic because I'm going with my boyfriend to pick up his new car today, and I didn't want to like be all glammed up, but I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna do my makeup. But I think it came out really nice, and it's kind of cute because it matches. I have like little yellow on my shirt. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.